Everything has changed as we head into week 5 fantasy football. And today I'm bringing you 5 moves to make. So we're bringing you 3 waiver wire adds and 2 trade targets to add to your roster heading into week 5 to hopefully help you continue to win a fantasy football championship. Now, number 1, I just wanted to make this. Kenny Gainwell did not make this video because I believe that Jaylen Warren, when he comes back, is going to eat a little bit more into that snap share. But if you do need somebody, I guess you could throw out Kenny Gainwell. He's an honorable mention after that absolutely incredible 31.4 fantasy football day in week 4 versus Minnesota. Sorry to you West Coast dads if you either started Jaylen Warren and or did not have the ability to go pick up Kenny Gainwell before he put up that absolute massive performance. It's going to be interesting to see how those snap share kind of ends up being between Kenny Gainwell and Jaylen Warren, but I'm still a little bit higher on Jaylen Warren rest of season. Now, move to make number 1. It is going to be Woody Marks for the Houston Texans. And what we saw Woody Marks do is we saw him absolutely outshine Nick Chubb with a 56% snap share, but put up 27.1 fantasy points in full PPR, 17 attempts, 69 yards. 4 yards per carry, 1 total touchdown. But then this is what's exciting if you play in a full PPR format is that Woody Marks had 5 targets for 4 receptions, 50 yards, and another total touchdown. So Woody Marks, it's the passing of the guard. We knew he was that pass catcher, a little bit more explosive than Nick Chubb. Poor Nick Chubb, it just looks like there's been zero explosion. All those injuries to his knees, there's just zero burst. And so I think at this point, Woody Marks is going to be the clear one. And I think that snap share that we just continue to see climb week after week after week. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if next week it's in the high 60th percentile there in snap share. So I'm really excited for Woody Marks. He's only 37% rostered over on Sleeper. So definitely make sure that you are getting and adding Woody Marks. I would probably be, if you're in a fab bidding system, probably use somewhere between 20 to 30% of your budget to go get good old Woody Marks. Now, moving on to waiver wire number 2, it's going to be Kendre Miller for the New Orleans Saints. And we saw Kendre Miller with 12.5 fantasy points. Snap share still kind of in line, 31%, which is higher than it's been at all this season, but 11 attempts, 65 yards, 1 total touchdown. And the part to me that makes me a little bit excited about Kendre Miller going forward is just the fact that Alvin Kamara is still playing. Like, it's not like an injury to Alvin Kamara helped boost this kind of volume for Kendre Miller. They just got him a little bit more involved. And so for me, I want to be adding Kendre Miller. Like I said, I prefer if Kenny Gainwell or Woody Marks is out there, but if I have to kind of go to my next option, it's going to be Kendre Miller. There's a lot of truthers for Kendre Miller in the streets, and I understand that this offense is not the best offense in the NFL, but I think being able to put up, double-digit fantasy football points from the running back position with Alvin Kamara against a Buffalo Bills defense and a front 7, that's pretty good. I do want to be adding some Kendre Miller. So definitely another move to make. Go add Kendre Miller. Now, moving on to move to make number 3, it is going to be going out and adding Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, we saw Malik Neighbors tear his ACL, and that is absolutely devastating to not only a ton of my fantasy football teams, but a ton of your fantasy football teams. But if we need just a glimmer of hope, it's that Jackson Dart didn't look half bad. And so now Jackson Dart's kind of going to be sliding into this option where they're going up against New Orleans next week, which is a good matchup, going against Philadelphia, Denver, where they're going to have to throw the ball. And I think Wan'Dale Robinson out of the slot is the guy that you want to have. Now, it wasn't a great day for the Chargers with him, where he only put up 4.4 fantasy points and 5 targets, 3 receptions, 14 yards. But I think going back to that week 2 game versus Dallas, which I understand everybody is throwing all over the yard against Dallas, I just think Wan'Dale Robinson's going to be the one that you're going to want to step up. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, Darius Slayton as well. But for me, I do want it to be Wan'Dale Robinson, and he is 64% roster. So if somehow he is out there on your waiver wire, I know he was the hot commodity ad 2 weeks ago. I definitely want to at least make sure that he is out there if I need some wide receiver help. Now, moving on to some trade targets, my number 1 trade target, it is going to be A.J. Brown. And yes, another absolute disappointing day for A.J. Brown, putting up 2.7 fantasy football points after coming off a 22.9 fantasy football point day in week 3. Now, the part that I do want to highlight with A.J. Brown is he did give us some great material over on X and over on Instagram, essentially apologizing to the fans. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that realize that a lot of our fantasy football hopes and dreams rely on a number 1 wide receiver. And I just appreciate the fact that he came out, he was honest, and he just said that this is unacceptable. Even though the Philadelphia Eagles have won 20 out of their last 21 games, it's an absolutely incredible run that they're on right now, but he's not getting involved, and they're just wanting to run the ball, do some Jalen Hurts scrambles, Saquon Barkley out of the backfield, and then we'll throw to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert when we feel like it. I just want to be targeting A.J. Brown because I believe in this kind of diva wide receiver one mentality that he's going to start harping if he's not getting his points, because let's not forget there's a lot of bonuses. There's a lot of stuff tied into his overall performance. And if he's out there like where he's running 93 to 100% snap share and getting all the, 90% of the routes, all of a sudden he's not getting the fantasy football points. I mean, this is the top dog. So for me, I want to be going and trying to trade for AJ Brown because I think it's a great buy low window. When we're looking at some deals that have literally just gone down yesterday, we can see some deals. So someone traded away Josh Jacobs, Blake Corum for Zach Charbonnet and AJ Brown. Now, I understand that Josh Jacobs is probably the better play there from a holistic perspective, but Zach Charbonnet showed a lot of burst coming off of injury in week 3. And AJ Brown, definitely, like I said, want to be buying low. Someone traded away. Let's continue to look at some more trades. Someone traded away Ladd McConkey for AJ Brown. Listen, I love me some Ladd McConkey. Loved what he did last year, but it's looking pretty dire there for Ladd McConkey. So give me AJ Brown. Someone traded away Brock Bowers for Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown. We're going to be talking about Brock Bowers here in a little bit, but definitely want that AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert side. Someone traded away Cam Scatterbo for AJ Brown, David Montgomery. Now, like I said, clearly some of these people don't do their research, but the part about this is I'm saying that there's deals out there where people are ready to get off of AJ Brown. And so I 100% want to be going out and getting AJ Brown if I can onto my team because I think that'll be super, super, super beneficial. Now, moving on to move to make number 5, another trade target. It's going to be Brock Bowers. And as somebody that has Brock Bowers on a ton of his fantasy football teams, it's so sad what Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll are doing to Brock Bowers. Now, I would like to say that I think a lot of it has to do with his injury that he sustained in week 1 versus New England, because he hasn't put up double-digit fantasy points in full PPR since that week 1 game. Now, his snap share has gone back up. He had a 77, 83, 77 over the last 3 weeks. And honestly, he led the team in targets. But Geno Smith is absolute cheeks right now. And that's the part to me that is hindering Brock Bowers and his overall ability to get to that ultimate level ceiling. Plus the knee brace. If it was an MCL sprain and he's been playing on it, absolute warrior out there. Hopefully for us, we're kind of getting to that stretch of hopefully, week 5 versus Indianapolis, week 6 versus Tennessee. We're getting him back to full strength, full health. But yes, tight end 9 right now on the season is not where we drafted Brock Bowers, and so I do want to take that into consideration. So if somebody does own Brock Bowers and we can go trade for him, that is what I am wanting to do. Because like I said, I know I said I don't believe in Chip Kelly. I really don't. But we just saw him get Ashton Genty going finally in week 4. And so hopefully in week 5, his goal is to get Brock Bowers going. Now, when we look at some deals that have gone down for Brock Bowers, someone traded away Tucker Kraft and Keon Coleman for Brock Bowers. Listen, Tucker Kraft's been great. Tucker Kraft's been a mini George Kittle. But I think rest of season, I do want some Brock Bowers. Someone traded away Travis Kelce and Romeo Doubs for Brock Bowers, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift. Give me that side. Now, let's try to find some that are not so crazily done. Like I said, these are all coming from real leagues. Someone traded away George Pickens and Travis Etienne for Brock Bowers. Now, this is probably a close deal, which is crazy to say because Travis Etienne's been popping off. George Pickens just had a massive, massive Sunday night game. But I think if you need some tight end help, this is the type of move that you have to make. You have to buy low on a Brock Bowers to then potentially get that reward, especially in your tight end spot, especially if you have some good depth on the end of your bench. But if you like fantasy football, if you like winning, hit that like and subscribe button. We are on the way to 2,000 subscribers. We're answering every start sit question in the comments, so make sure you're here. Make sure you're asking your questions. We're here to help you win a fantasy football championship in 2025, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.